right. Thank you, listeners and viewers, for joining us on the Kalino Arts Network. And once again, we are onto our arts segment. And at this moment, we will be looking at what's happening in the arts world. And I would like to let you know well in advance that there's a lot that's happening that's quite interesting. And I'm actually quite very excited. I have Nyaradzo Chahurua, who is on the line with me today. And Nyaradzo is a certified financial education instructor. And she has sat down and penned down a book which is called Can My Money Be Enough? So I know there are a lot of people there who get worried when payday comes up. Well, you probably get excited, and then after a few days, you're worried again because it's payday and then you're broke. They always call it broke soon after pay. So, with Nyarato on the line and with her book that she's written, I'm sure we're going to be taken into a world of how we can get things much better financially. So, welcome, Nyarato, on the program, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Bessie. Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right. So, can my money be enough? What are we talking about in this book? This is a very interesting question because it's one of my usual everyday questions. Can my money be enough? What are we discussing about on that subject?
Okay, so the title of the book is How Can My Money Be Enough?
Okay.
So it actually then gives, can I say, solutions to that questions. Okay, can I say it gives an answer or answers to that question. So we're saying, how can my money be enough? Practical ways to stop payday to payday living. That's the subtitle. And how that happens, I think the first 3 chapters of that book, you have my life experience, because I did not start off as a certified financial education instructor. I was actually an accountant, and I am still an accountant. But you know, the misconception that accountants know it all when it comes to money. So I think that's where I got it all wrong, because I did accounting from a very early age. From the time I was 13, I had already started doing accounting. But I struggled with my personal finances right through my adult life. Now I am an adult. I have 2 kids. I'm married. But I was struggling with my finances month in, month out, where you find that my salary is not even enough. So it was through personal experiences and the lessons that I learned along the way. And then what I then had, after realizing that I was in a mess, the solution I found. So that is what you'd find I try to address in the first 3 chapters, as I said. And then the rest of the book now, because of the lessons I've learned, now I'm also sharing those as solutions to our day-to-day struggles.
Okay. So, is this book set up in a sort of personal lifestyle, like you're showing your personal life and lessons that you learned from there, or is it sort of like set out topics and chapters that deal with different aspects of finances in life?
Yeah, so I can say it covers both, as you have said it. So the first 3 chapters are basically my life story, but the book is broken down into 10 chapters, very short chapters for people to read the book very fast and start implementing. That was the whole idea. So you'd find there's a topic which touches on saving, there's a topic which touches on giving, there's a topic which touches on earning more income, how you can earn more income, how you protect your money. And also, there are activities within the book, activities that are practical to help you to get your financial situation into perspective, so that it ceases to be just another book, but it becomes your story, your personal finances, and how you can bring that into perspective. So, and then it also has a chapter which is dedicated to, can I call them challenges? Saving challenges, where you are actually challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone and do something. There are for throughout the whole year. So there's something like for every month that you can do. So it's quite an exciting book, I must say.
You did mention in the book there is a part where it talks about how emotions play a big role in money management. Yeah, would you like to maybe say a little bit about that? Just what this is all about?
Yes, so I'll just give you a very short example. Because sometimes, when you are running out of money and you know that this is the last, can I say, $10 that I have at that point, and you know that you have mouths to feed, and you know that there still is 20 more days for the month to end for me to get another. You know how the emotions that go around there. So some people can actually become angry, some people become so fearful, some people, I don't know, these things, people can actually commit suicide because money has an effect on emotions. And I got to learn that as well. And it's something that you probably will never know when it's happening to you up until someone actually explains that, no, this, it's actually because of emotions. And some of these things, some of these emotions we can handle, some of them we cannot handle. And that is how, as I said, some people end up committing suicide. And you know that you have money coming, it's like before you even get the money, and you just know that someone is going to send you money tomorrow. It even changes the way you walk. You're so excited. You're even jumping. There's a payday walk,
Yeah.
that kind of.
Yep.
So
I do
that
that a lot.
way we have we have emotions at play in money management. So that's what that chapter is about.
Okay. And in relationships, there is also a part that talks about finances in relationships. What do you think, from your personal experiences, are the main challenges that couples or families have financially?
Yes, so that one also I love it, relationships, because we are looking at the different kinds of relationships that we have in our lives. It can be a relationship with a friend, and how money comes to play when it, because as an example, if you lend money to a friend, um, and when you want your money back, because friends kind of take it for granted that, this is my friend, I can give him even next year. But meanwhile, you are actually hurting, and you want your money because you have planned for it. But such things, we have relationships, love relationships, where issues of money become a burden. And I don't want to go ahead of myself, but even when money issues are not addressed in a relationship, it affects everything else. It affects even the intimacy in marriage. We are talking of the relationship with our in-laws, and as Black people, there's the issue of Black tax, how we address that, because in-laws or the extended family is expecting something from you because they know that you are working. So how do you manage this? And relationships with our kids, how do we address this with our parents? How do we get the money issues flowing? So it's really to touch on the different relationships that we have, even our community at large. In the African, there's an African proverb which says, um, it takes a village to raise a child. So this village here also has its own expectations. So it really kind of touches on all those aspects.
So, from a financial education instructor's point of view, do you recommend in a family setup that there should be somebody who is in charge of the finances? So let's say it's payday. If husband and wife are both working, so they come in and put all the money on the table, and then it's handed over to the treasury, whoever happens to be. Do you
To the
recommend a
Minister of
situation like
Finance.
do you recommend a situation like that, or is there a plan that actually makes it work?
So really, there's no wrong and right answer. I think when it comes to these things, and we can't just say one. What is it? A blanket answer, like a one size fits all. So depending on the households, but there's always someone who is good with money in the relationship, and so it can work that way. But what is advisable is that when it comes to money in a relationship, that kind of a relationship, then people should sit together, discuss where they're going, because there's a family vision there. Where are we going as a family? What is it that we want to achieve in our house? So everyone is aware of what we are doing. Everyone is aware how much is brought in. Everyone is aware of the budget, how we are going to spend the money. And then there's the one now who can run with that vision. As another is busy, probably the husband is the one who brings them the income. So the husband is now busy with that, and the wife pays the bills, does all these other things, makes sure that we are not going over the budget and things like that. So that can work, or it can be vice versa. The husband is the one who understands that better. So yeah.
Yes, this is quite very interesting. I was just thinking as I was reading through that culturally we are all diverse in terms of culture worldwide. Does your book address a variety of cultures, or is it directed towards a particular culture?
So money principles actually work. They are, can I say, they are international. What will work here will probably work there where you are, Percy. So it really is broad. But because I'm African and my background is African, and I understand the struggles of the African, you would find that some of the solutions there are African oriented,
Yeah.
just a few. So maybe just to also mention, there's a part where I talk of uh, uh, savings clubs. In South Africa, they would call them stockville. In Zimbabwe, they would call them mokando. Here in Namibia, they also call them stockvilles. But it's probably something that is not very common out there in the Western world and the Eastern world. So from that perspective, but if they also adopt it, when I say they, I mean even the Western cultures, if they adopt it, it will still work because the concepts are the same. Emotions that affect people are the same. The issues of black tax, they normally affect the African uh, working class, but they can also affect the people in the West. So I can't really say then it is just targeting my little uh, group, but it is, the solutions are international.
Yeah. So the question is quite very interesting. You say, how can my money be enough? So a lot of people will actually jump onto that because everyone wants money to be enough. They want to have a lot of money, technically speaking. The question that comes in there is that is this directed to somebody who's got the money but misusing it, or you're giving them advice on how they can actually make their money enough? I mean, make sense if I am actually making sense myself, or is it somebody who doesn't earn enough and then they can get means of how they can enlarge their pocket?
Yeah, so Percy, it's like the misconception we have is that we don't have enough money. Even if we give you $1 million today,
Do you want to
three
try
months
it?
down the line, it'll we can try that later. But if it's just never enough. You give someone $30,000 or rands. That's what is used the site. It may not be enough. That person, you give that person a raise in the next month. Maybe that person is now earning 50,000. The first month, 2 months, the person is happy because they feel no, the money is now better. But a few months down the road, that money is not enough anymore. So I am talking to that person who seems never to have enough money, no matter how much it is. I'm also talking to a person who does not have that much money, because in the book also you'll find ways of making more money, because having not having enough money could be because you are not using the money well, or it could be that indeed it's just not sufficient. So how can we make it, um, how can we increase it so that it can at least be sufficient? So this is probably to put a person into that sphere of understanding sufficiency, that this money that I have, it can be enough for my needs. And we talk of living within your means. So if you're having a 20,000, Percy, I'm always also thinking to myself, my grandmother, she didn't have like a fancy job. She probably, and we would give her money here and there, and she would sell her produce here and there. But sometimes we would have to borrow money from her because she managed that little that she had. But in this day and age, because of these issues of instant gratification, we want something and we want it now. And because we want it now, we might as well go the extra mile and borrow from the bank or buy on credit so that we have it. And because we now have to be paying back loans and all these things at the end of the month, that money which was supposed to be sufficient for us is no longer sufficient because we have to be paying off debts and all these other things. So yeah, all those issues we are addressing in the book.
Right. You are the founder of a not-for-profit company, which is called Personal Finance School. Would you like to maybe tell us a little bit about what that is and how it can be of benefit to the listeners and viewers?
Okay, so Personal Finance School it came out as a result of My Money Project. So My Money Project is what I was just doing on the side. And it was out of passion that I was teaching, because I'm really passionate about teaching personal finances. So because of that, I had My Money Project, but I realized that some people will not give me an ear just because I'm not a company, because I'm an individual. So because of that, the Personal Finance School had to be born so that it can carry the My Money Project. And then I think then people would also feel that there's a bigger vision to this thing. So yeah, so a Personal Finance School is a financial education company, and it's not for profit. So what I'm doing, it's not going to be listed or anything, but it's just running with this message of financial literacy so that people can know, and we break this generational poverty, which I don't know if I should call it a curse, but sometimes it's a curse that we have drawn to ourselves because we do not know. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that and all that information. I'm really excited about the book. I'm sure it will do very well. And if people need to find the book to purchase it or download, I don't know how it's being distributed. How can they find the book?
Okay, so the ebook is on Kindle, Amazon's Kindle. So there they can pre-order. It will only be available from the 25th of June, but it's available for pre-order, and it's going for $4.69 US on Kindle. But if they want the paperback now, or the actual book, then they can get in touch with me. Then I'll make arrangements to courier the book to them. But that is proving to be quite expensive, really.
Ah, okay. So what numbers, if you don't mind putting down either your contact details where they can actually contact you for that purposes?
Okay, so my number, it's also there on Facebook, just in case people miss it, but it's a Namibian number. So 00264, that's the code. Then 814485041. So that's my number. And I prefer WhatsApp. It's just easier for me. I communicate better on WhatsApp.
Okay. Or maybe via your page, your Facebook page?
Yes, so my Facebook page, that will be Facebook/My Money Project. Or if they want to come to my personal page, then they will find me on Nyaradzo Morrison Chaluva. I also have a blog, which is www.mymoneyproject.info. There they'll find my writings as well. And I've just started a YouTube channel. It currently has 3 videos.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to add another one.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe on Wednesday.
Oh, that is great. That is great. So anything else that you may want the viewers to know or to look out for? Any upcoming projects or anything of interest to? And also, I was going to ask you, do you have the book right with you right there with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
How can my money be enough?
Okay.
So it's also quite a colorful book. As I said, you'd find the activities there, something that there are challenges there that you can do. There we go. This is a how to pay debt faster. And another thing I forgot to mention, it refers so much to the Bible because I'm a Christian, and I found most of my solutions in the Word of God. So it really takes some of the information straight from the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I wanted you to show the viewers is how thick or thin the book is. I know there's a lot of people that sometimes feel very lazy when it comes to reading. So I wanted to assure them that it's a book that they can read and finish.
They can finish this book in a week, even the slowest reader, because there are 70 pages. But if we take out the foreword, if we take out the copyright pages, the intros, it'll probably be just 55 pages.
Okay. So there you go, viewers. It's a book that you really need to get your hands onto and read that book. It will assist and help in how to run and manage your finances at home, at work, in your personal life. And it's not a very huge book, like Nyaradzo is saying. It's about 55 pages just to read through. If you're going to read through from cover to cover, you're looking at about 70 pages. So something you can actually do and not get lazy about. Money is very important. So I'd like to thank you, Nyaradzo, for coming up onto the program, and wish you all the best with the book and with the project. It's really a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much, Percy. I appreciate it.
Okay.